Ooh, the guy's cutting it too close. He started too wide at first. I think I'll go out there and help him. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's Friday, January 14th. It's payday. Well, it's payday for me. Numbers looked all right this week. So my paycheck should look decent next week. But this week, what I did last week, if you guys are following me, was a so-so week. Went to Pennsylvania to Chicago to Kansas City, back to Chicago. It was a lot of back and forth. But overall, my numbers were okay, considering I just came off the holidays. Now, understand, guys, trucking, or at least for me, for several years now, man, the later part of November into late December, it's always like those hit and miss. Because I try to go home for the holidays, which is Thanksgiving. The weeks are short. Some facilities are closed for the holidays. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that take in account on why your numbers can fluctuate around that time. So considering that last week my numbers were so-so, my paycheck was all right this week. You know, it's nothing to rave about. I mean, it was under 2,000 considering what I did. But then again, I also had to catch up on some not late fees, but some fees that I wasn't accountable for the week that I was off, you know, because when you're off, you still have certain fees that you have to pay. So that took account, as well as, you know, the time that I came back, you know. So there's a lot of things that had to be juggled back and forth. Nothing too big, nothing too crazy, nothing to alert people who are thinking of coming to Llama. But it is what it is, guys. My numbers were okay. My numbers were pretty good this week, so my check next week should be all right. But we can all agree, guys, that some of these truck stops, man, it's just, you know, it's a cluster headache. Some are well designed than others, you know. Some are just so tight. Some truck stops, man, is just a parking lot for drop trailers, you know, area distribution centers to have their trailers, you know, their bobtail trucks just waiting there, taking up space for an hour and a half, or whatever you want to call it, you know. Pothole City. The list goes on and on, guys. The list goes on how some of these truck stops are designed, the headaches that we have to put up. But with that being said, guys, when is it a good time for you, when you're sitting, kind of like what I'm doing now, to go out and help or assist another driver that's trying to back into a tight spot? You know, when is it a good time to go out there and help them, man? You know, because we all start somewhere. We all have that time to where, you know, we're not sure we can get in there. You know, is it too tight? Depending the time of day. As you guys can tell right now, it's 11 o'clock Friday. Sun is bright. You know, you can see everything around you, man. But there's times to where it's late at night, you know, and you know, you're not too sure if you can get in there, you know, safe without bumping into a truck next to you. So when is it a good time to go out there and assist another driver, man? Just to do your good deed for the day, so to speak. Me personally, man, anytime is a good time to go out there and help someone, man, because you never know when it can be the other way around. You know, it doesn't matter how long you've been out here, how much experience you have. Yeah, man, go out there and help another person, because you just never know. You just never know when the situation, you know, arises to where you might need help. Now, understand, guys, clearly, guys, that when you go out there and help someone, understand and be fully aware that you're just as liable as the driver if that driver hits someone. Okay? Now, you can sit there and say, well, Anthony, no, you're not. Actually, yes, you are. Because that driver can turn around and say, hey, well, that guy told me I was clear and I was backing up, and boom, you knocked off a mirror. Okay? So understand, guys, and I'm not trying to sit there and do catch-22 on you. But understand, guys, that you're just as liable and responsible if anything happens, just like the driver. Okay, because that driver can turn around and sit there and say, well, hey, that guy was helping me and he told me I was good and I bumped into the truck, So understand that, guys. Now it doesn't mean to sit there, okay, well, and screw it, then I'm not going to help out anybody. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, understand and be careful, because you can't sit there and watch both sides, of the spectrum. You can't watch his left side because you're watching his right side and vice versa. The best thing to do is, my 2 cents, guys, the best thing to do is, if you're going to go out there and help or assist another driver back into a tight spot, what I would do is, you know what, man, hey, give me your number, I'll put you on speaker, and I'll watch both of your sides, rather than you walk back, back and forth from each side of the end of the trailer, okay? You're probably thinking to yourself, hey, man, well, that's just too much, too much work. It all depends on the situation, man. It could be late at night and you're just helping the guy or the girl, back into a tight spot, or whatever the case might be, I remember a couple of weeks ago when I was at my yard, and there was a hotshot, person in front of me, and I've had this conversation numerous times with the owner of the truck stop. Okay, they're real cool people. They know me. And I've been parking there for years, even before Llama. And I keep on telling them, hey, man, you got to draw a line to where how far these people can park, because now I'm be able to pull out, because I can't pull out to the right and I can't pull out to the left, vice versa. You got to, and I know to them it's probably the more trucks, the more money they get, But they also have to have, hey, no, you guys can't park past this line because these trucks over here can't pull out. And that's what happened that morning. Okay, that's what happened that morning. I wasn't able to pull out. The guy at the office or at the the cash register, the counter, gave me the number to the person who owned the truck, the hotshot. Okay, it turned out to be a girl. Called her. Hey, I said, my name is this and this, back and forth. I was wondering if you can, if you live close, come by and move your truck because I can't swing out. Well, she was like, hey, no problem. She goes, I'll be there about in 45 minutes. I'll be there in 45 minutes, So I was okay. Well, I said, ma'am, I said, just want to let you know. I said, I do have a load I need to go pick up, so is there any way you can try and be here as soon as you can? I said, because I've been trying for the past 30 minutes to get out, and now I have to wait 45 minutes more, for you, And she's like, yeah, I'll be there as soon as I can. Well, while I was waiting, the guy next to me, got there, and I asked him, hey, man, I said, that person in front of us, man, she's on her way, but is there any way you can pull further back and I can swing out? Because I didn't want to sit there and pull out and rip off one of these guys' bumpers, So, he's like, yeah, no problem, So he backed up, which gave me plenty of room for me to swing out, okay? So now he was parked fine. He was parked fine, but he just went the extra mile to pull further back to let me swing out. Okay, so I took off. I was on my way to my load. Well, she calls me an hour and 30 minutes later. Hey, I'm here. Where you at? I'm like, well, I'm gone, ma'am. She's like, well, she started yelling at me over the phone that she had to leave her hair appointment, her beauty salon, whatever you want to call it. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. You parked literally in front of 5 trucks, okay? And luckily, the person next to me was able to get there and pull back so I can swing out. If not, then we all would have been screwed, okay? I go, so you call me, and rep and row and whatever you want to call it, So anyways, guys, yeah, some of these places are just, it's a cluster headache, So when is a good time to come out there and help another driver? Man, it's always a good time to go out there. You always want to go out there and assist your fellow driver. because you just never know when the tables are turned. All right, don't sit here, with a phone, and record it so you can put something on TikTok like some of these idiots out there, because karma's a bitch, guys. Karma's a bitch, man. Go out there, help a driver out, man. Let them know what's going on. Like I said, tell them to call you, or you give them your number, put it on speakerphone, communicate that way. Because sometimes it's hard to bounce back and forth on the other side of the trailer, so they can fully understand, while other drivers are waiting for that driver to pull in or pull into that spot. So honestly, but remember, guys, you're just as liable as that driver is, okay? So be prepared to make sure you have full understanding or full communication with that driver, man, because you're just as liable as that driver is, man. Because I was sitting here, and there was a guy next to me eating his breakfast. There was another guy here watching what was going on, and I had just pulled in, okay? And this guy pulls in, and it was like the person in front of me, a couple of slots over, and he was, you can tell he was struggling, okay? He was struggling. Man, but some of these truck stops, man, Bobtail City, drop trailers, potholes, not to mention some of the dirtiness, man, and unsolicited trafficking, that comes out here, man, because I've been approached a couple of times to where, hey, I need some change, or hey, this and that, back and forth, so just be careful out there, guys, because I've been bumped one time, a couple of months ago when I was in Utah, I had to call my company about 3 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, nothing was really damaged to the trailer. He just scuffed it, but it was enough to sit there and bump the trailer, and it woke me up, But yeah, man, that's a lot better than getting my hood ripped off or my mirror sliced in half or whatever the case might be, So that being said, guys, my check was okay again, this week, what I did last week. This week's numbers, I'm still looking for a load, man. I'm still looking for a load to go home. I'm in Dallas, at the Pilot, off 20, right down the street from Amazon. If you guys been here before, man, whoo, man, it's a headache and a half, man. It's a headache and a half. I was lucky to find a spot open, but I'm gonna show you guys. Check this out, man. Look at this crazy stuff. These are just drivers going by, potholes right there, bobtails, hot shots, a truck right there just sitting there probably taking up space because they're probably in the area. This is the guy that was trying to back in to the spot that's over there. He's still looking for a spot, man. This is probably about 30 minutes ago. Right there where that black Peterbilt is, okay? That's the guy that I helped back into, all right? That Hogan box truck, he was pulled further back, but he pulled up, okay? And I guess that's the reason why that guy couldn't figure out if he was clean enough to back into, because he couldn't see that Hogan truck once he starts turning his trailer, okay? But yeah, man, this place is ridiculous, man. Look at that. 2 trucks parked right there, hot shot, personal vehicle. Man, this place is just, it's ugly, man. It's ugly, It is what it is. I mean, it was closer to where my drop was this morning. So yeah, man, go out there, man. Help your fellow truck driver, man. Go out there and assist them, help them, whatever you want to call it, man. Because trust me, nobody wants to get that thing on their record. Karma's a bitch, like I said in the past, guys. Go out there, help them out, because you never know when the tables are turned. But like I said, guys, it's Friday. I'm looking for a load to go home. It's Martin Luther King weekend. Numbers were good again, like I said, But yeah, man, God bless. Be careful. Take care. If you guys have any questions. Oh, another thing also, guys. When I was at my drop this morning, I came across another company that's out of Chicago. And he was showing me his numbers, man. He was showing me his numbers, because we had parked side by side, and we made small, conversations. And he was asking me, where Llama was from. I told him it was out of Lamont, south of Chicago. And he was telling me his company. And I said, yeah, I know that company, and it's not the one you're thinking of. It's another company. And, he was showing me his numbers, man, and I was like, well, how much you pay for the truck, this and that, back and forth, and I was telling him my numbers, and he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I said, we don't put up with that much, BS, here. I don't like being with the company that micromanages, their drivers, I'm an adult, I'm a responsible trucker, my record, shows for itself, but yeah, man, I don't like companies that micromanage their drivers, babysits them and stuff like that, but we were comparing numbers, man, and he was like, wow, and his numbers weren't that much different than mine, but I did tell him, and he told me he was going to check out my channel, and I wasn't there to sit there and solicit, llama or anything like that back and forth. Actually, the way that happened was that I noticed that he had a radiator leak out of his truck. And I told him, and we started talking, and I told him, okay, man, you need any help, or whatever you want to call it. And he's like, no, back and forth, he got it, and this and that. And he asked me where Llama was out of, and I told him out of Lamont, and he was like, yeah, he goes, these people are out of Chicago. I was like, yeah, I know who these people are, not personally, but I know, where they're at, because I see the signs, around Chicago. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about the numbers and this and that back and forth, and he said he was going to look into it, but it is what it is, guys. My numbers were, like I said, good this week. My check was okay this week, but I had to also take in consideration on certain things I had to catch up on, okay? So with that being said, guys, enough of me raving on, whatever you want to call it. Do your part to be a good, responsible driver out here, man. Help and assist anybody that might need it, because you just never know, guys, when the tables might be turning on you, okay? So God bless, be careful. It's a safe weekend, or have a safe weekend. The weather's beautiful where I'm at, okay? But everybody out there, man, talk to you guys later.